Hello again and welcome back to Mags Frags, the ultimate destination for fragrance lovers and scent explorers. Today we're diving back into the world of the Perfume Parlour, and I've got another 7 mesmerising extract sprays for you, which are now coming in these new look bottle designs rather than the old square bottles. And you no longer get a box with them, so don't think you received any of the EDP versions like I did when you saw them wrapped in bubble wrap without the box. All these are based on some fantastic niche and designer scents, and the originals of a couple of these have only been out a matter of weeks in their original forms. And just before I get into today's haul, if you are thinking of placing an order with the Perfume Parlour, you can use my unique discount code, which entitles you to 10% discount on your entire order, and the code is Paul10 at the checkout. It is an affiliate link, so I do receive a small commission when you use the code, but this video isn't in any way sponsored by the brand, and I did purchase all of these with my own cash. So with that said, let's get straight into it and see what delights I have in store for you today. Okay, so I like to usually open these videos up with a big one, and they don't come much bigger than this. This one is called Avalanche Absolute, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0392. This is a copy of Absolu Aventus, which was possibly the biggest release of 2023, and it also came with a huge price tag at £320 for just a 75ml bottle size. So guess who didn't buy it knowing that the Perfume Parlour would have it nailed within a matter of weeks. I do always give myself a couple of sprays of the original whenever I'm out shopping, so I have probably worn it all day on possibly 20 or so occasions, so I'm pretty familiar now with how it smells. The top notes in this are grapefruit, bergamot and blackcurrant. In the mid we've got ginger, cinnamon, citron and cardamom, and in the base we've got pink pepper, patchouli and vetiver. Okay, so the first thing you've probably noticed is the absence of that famous pineapple note. And you'd be right in thinking that you don't get as much of the sweet fruitiness in this new Absolu version. Instead, it's a bit darker and more spicy, with that killer combination of ginger, we've got some cinnamon and also cardamom up top, which are all notes I really enjoy. You still do get a nice bit of zesty citrus up top though, and also some sweetness from the blackcurrant. But it's not quite as juicy and as fruity as the masterpiece from 2010. And I don't know if this is going to be a popular opinion, but I do actually enjoy the spicier opening of the new Absolu version over the original Creed Aventus. And this Perfume Parlour extract spray just captures it really well once you leave it to settle for about maybe 5 or 10 minutes after you first spray it, and you just allow that initial alcohol blast to wear off. It's not long before lots of the intense earthy woodiness starts to make its way through from the base, and it's more warm and intense than what you get in the original Creed Aventus. Some people have described it as smelling quite similar to Dior Sauvage Elixir, especially in the dry down, which I didn't get at first when I first smelled it, but now I've worn it a few times, I can see where they're coming from because it does resemble it in the dry down a lot more than it does in the opening. And after it's totally settled down, around about the hour mark, that's kind of where you can put the two together and you'll notice the comparison. But it's like, I would say this is like being 60% of the original Aventus and then maybe 40% Sauvage Elixir. The performance on both the real Absolu Aventus and this Perfume Parlour extract spray are stellar, but on a rare occasion, I would perhaps give the performance award to the original. I also think the original is slightly smoother and better blended, but at £325 a bottle or £320 a bottle or whatever it is, I wouldn't expect anything less. And you've also got to take into account that this Perfume Parlour version hasn't had time to macerate yet, so in 6 months' time it might be a different story. This is very accurate though, and I'd say it's about 90 to 95% accurate to the original, so I'd highly recommend that you stick it on your next order before it sells out. Okay, so next up is one called Mystic Myrrh Serenity, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0439. This is a copy of Myrrh Mystère by Tom Ford, which was another late 2023 release, and the latest one to be added to the Tom Ford Private Blend collection. And again, the original of this is every bit as expensive as the Absolu Aventus one that I've just spoken about, coming in at £290 for just a 50ml bottle size. This 30ml extract spray from the Perfume Parlour is just £20, so over 10 times less expensive, but certainly not 10 times less in quality or performance. There's just the 4 notes listed in this one, which are up top we've got Myrrh, in the mid we've got vanilla, and the base notes in this are sandalwood and musk. Yeah, so this is a warm, semi-sweet ambery fragrance with the resinous myrrh note taking centre stage. There's also a slight smoky incense accord, but it's not overpowering in any way. And because we've also got the sweetness from the vanilla, it's kind of like the smell that you'd get from a sweet pastry that you've left in the oven for far too long, and it's charred all the edges of it. You may also pick up on a root beer or a Coca-Cola type aroma from time to time, or maybe even a licorice type accord. But it's a pretty simple, uncomplicated scent that I find to be very relaxing, and when I'm wearing it, there's nothing that I find off-putting or challenging in any way. This Perfume Parlour version is extremely accurate to the original with decent performance, and it's not a massive projector as such that's going to fill a room and scream for attention. This is one that you could wear as a work scent in the colder months of the year, or just for a nice walk outdoors in the autumn. I really like how this one smells, and I'm looking forward to giving it plenty more full wearings before the warmer weather arrives. But I'm not sure that I'd be willing to pay the £290 asking price for a bottle of the original. However, I can highly recommend this Perfume Parlour version if you do like your smoky, ambery scents. Right, so the third one in today's haul is one that's actually been brought to my attention by a couple of different subscribers to the channel. This one is called Famed Path 5, and the Perfume Parlour code on this particular one is 1170. This is a copy of Rosendo Matu number 5, which came out in 2017. And the notes in this are, up top we've got spices and exotic floral notes. In the mid we've got lily of the valley and carnation, and the base notes are musk, vanilla and amber. Yeah, so this is a sophisticated and complex fragrance that elegantly crafts traditional and modern notes together. And it might be slightly more on the challenging side to your more casual fragrance wearer. And it's definitely got, it's going to appeal more to anyone who's had plenty of exposure to niche fragrances. The opening quickly grabs your attention, and the spices and the exotic florals produce an energetic and vibrant introduction. But the amber from the base also comes straight through, so you get this unique spiced amber accord with a floral twist. And it's an introduction that's warm, fairly sweet and inviting. As it settles down, it may start to remind you of a couple of other fragrances that you might have come across in the past, which are Amen Pure Malt by Mugler and Fève de la Chose by Christian Dior, which you'll make the connection at different points, but I was definitely reminded of both of those fragrances when I smelled this for the first time. In the heart of the scent, we've got some traditional florals, including carnation and lily of the valley, but these don't make it smell feminine in any way. They just add a bit of freshness and balance to the rich depth of the base notes. And speaking of which, the base is where you'll find its comforting and lasting warmth with the vanilla, the amber and musk, producing a creamy, smooth sweetness that's really cosy and yet luxurious smelling. In terms of performance, it projects well enough just to get you noticed and to make a statement, but yet not too overpowering, unless you hate how it smells, of course. The longevity is excellent, and you'll keep getting constant wafts from it for a good 7 to 8 hours after you've first applied it. But like I say, this is an approach with caution type scent in my opinion, and it's definitely not what I'd call mass appealing. I personally think it smells good, but I have also had a couple of people that have hated it, so be bold and daring and try it out for yourself, and let me know what you think of it down in the comments section. Okay, so next up is one that I may have spoken about in a previous episode, but if that's the case, then it's definitely worth revisiting again because this is an absolute beauty, and it's about my 4th bottle that I've picked up from the Perfume Parlour now over the years. This is called Warrior for Men, and the Perfume Parlour code on this is 1536. This is a copy of Herod by Parfums de Marly, which is definitely in my top 5 Parfums de Marly fragrances, alongside Carlisle, Ojan, Altain and Leighton. The top notes in this are pepperwood and cinnamon. In the mid, we've got labdanum, incense, tobacco leaf, and osmanthus. And the base notes in this are musk, isoe super, vetiver, cedar, vanilla, and nagamother. Okay, so Herod is a masterful blend of spicy, woody, and sweet notes. But the first thing that you'll notice is its musky, powdery texture, followed by a mixture of a leather-like accord coming from the labdanum. But you'll also instantly pick up on the tobacco leaf with its rich, smoky depth. The incense adds a mystical and aromatic quality, while osmanthus introduces a subtle, fruity undertone that just enhances the overall complexity of the scent. It's just an absolutely delightful scent to wear in the cooler months of the year, and I did once own a bottle of the original until I compared it side by side with the Perfume Parlour copy version, and it was just simply too accurate to justify keeping the real thing. I also own another fragrance that's very similar to Herod, which is Pulse of the Night by Issey Miyake. So if you can find a copy of this cheap enough, it's definitely well worth picking up. But yes, the Perfume Parlour seem to just be able to work some kind of serious sorcery type magic when it comes to replicating Parfums de Marly fragrances. Because every single one of them that I own, I can't tell even the slightest difference between the dupe and the original. In terms of performance, this is really impressive and it'll linger on clothes all day, but due to its musky scent profile, it's again not a shouty, juvenile type scent, but instead it just gently reminds the people around you that you take your fragrances seriously, and they won't fail to ask you what you're wearing. This is an absolute must to pick up and add to your next Perfume Parlour collection if you don't already own it. Right, so just 3 more to go now today, and this next one goes by the name of Nicotiana, and the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 0125. This is a copy of Tabacular by Christian Dior, which is one of the highlights in the brand's private blend collection. It blends sweet fruity notes with rich smoky and resinous accords, and again I would say that this is going to be appreciated more by the connoisseurs and your fragrance enthusiasts out there over your more casual wearer. The top notes in this are citruses, peach and plum. In the mid we've got tobacco leaf and honey, and the base notes in this are amber and incense. Yeah, so this opens up with a burst of fruity notes with the peach and plum combining to produce a sweet yet tangy introduction. This initial sweetness is quickly complemented by the star of the show, the tobacco. However, the tobacco in this one is not harsh or overwhelming in any way. Instead, it's a refined, slightly sweet and smoky aroma that feels luxurious and comforting. As it fully dries down and it settles, there are hints of spices, maybe a dash of cinnamon or a whisper of nutmeg, which just add depth and warmth to the composition. In the base, there's a smooth, creamy, woody undertone, like from the sandalwood or the amber, which gives the fragrance a rich and intoxicating finish. Again, this extract spray from the Perfume Parlour captures the essence of Tabacular perfectly, and anyone who's familiar with it won't fail to recognise it as you drift past them. The performance is very strong with a decent projection, and it lasts a good 10 hours if you give your clothes a cheeky spray with it. But like I say, it is going to challenge a few people, and it's going to appeal to those who appreciate complex, rich scents. It's perfect for colder months given its warm and enveloping nature. The blend of tobacco with fruity and woody notes makes it versatile for both casual wear and for more formal occasions. And it's classed as a unisex fragrance, but I think it leans slightly towards a masculine profile in my opinion. But it can be worn confidently by anyone who just appreciates a really unique and interesting composition. Okay, so for the penultimate one, let's throw in a copy of a super mass appealing designer fragrance. And again, many people who watch these videos have asked me to review it for some reason just recently. So here we go. This is Odessa for men. And the Perfume Parlour code on this one is 1240. This is a copy of Valentino Uomo Born in Roma from 2019, and it's classed as a woody, spicy fragrance for men, but I don't feel that's accurate, and it's more of a salty, aquatic scent mixed with some semi-sweet, musky florals, sprinkled with a bit of spice in my opinion. The top notes in this are salt, violet leaf and mineral notes. In the mid we've got sage and ginger. and the base notes in this are vetiver and woody notes. Yeah, so this is a fairly bright, extremely versatile fragrance that you could wear all year round, both day and night. It's super easy to wear and combines fresh, energising oceanic notes with a nice amount of spiciness coming from that ginger note. As it transitions through into the heart, the sage and the violet leaf add more airy freshness, but also bring a nice amount of musky sweetness to the blend. It never becomes overly woody or earthy, despite the base notes being vetiver and woody notes. And for me, it just strikes the absolutely perfect middle ground between being fresh and also quite sweet. There's nothing massively unique or complex in this, but it's just one of those fragrances that just gets the job done, and it will cover you for any situation. It smells fantastic, and it's a very safe blind buy. It's about as mass appealing as you're ever likely to get, and if you don't like how this one smells, then I would definitely recommend that you get your nose tested. It's a steady Eddie type performer, and it does enough to get you noticed with a fairly soft projection, but it does stick around for maybe 6 to 7 hours before you'll stop catching wafts of it. But if you're on the lookout for a one-stop do-it-all signature scent to wear all year round, then you should definitely at least give this one a try for yourself. And the final one in today's haul, I picked up one of the Perfume Parlour's own fusions, where they blend two popular scents together, and this one is called Fatino. And the Perfume Parlour code on this, if you fancy picking up a bottle for yourself, is 2021. This is a mixture of Rum Carle, which is a copy of Penhaligon's Alfetti, and also Card Wonder, which is a copy of Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton. Both are very luxurious, exotic smelling fragrances, and both have a Middle Eastern vibe about them. They also share many of the same powerful and pungent notes like leather, saffron, oud, incense and rose. So it's kind of no wonder that these two fragrances would marry up so well together. And as you'd expect, it does exactly what it's meant to. You get a rich, dark, sweet and mysterious smelling fragrance that produces an aroma that transports you straight to like a Moroccan market with all the spice stalls and the leather goods stands, etc. I don't actually find that one fragrance dominates the other, and this could quite easily be a standalone scent in its own right. So if you are looking for something very unique to what everyone else is wearing, check out these dual or triple blend fusions from the Perfume Parlour. They're very interesting, and they will set you apart. Okay, so just a quick summary. My favourites from today's haul have to be the Absolu Aventus copy and also the Herod copy, because them two are just both on another level. But honestly, these are all superb quality, and they all have their own unique and interesting thing going on. But like I always say, just go on your own fragrance journey and try not to be too influenced by me or any other reviewer out there, because we all have our own different tastes and our own custom palettes. I'm only here to kind of make you aware of what's available, so I hope one or two of these today have perked your interest at least. Okay, so that's about it again from me today, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video useful in any way. I'm going to be reviewing lots of new designer releases over the coming weeks, because they'll be coming at you thick and fast, so keep a lookout for the exclusive sneak peeks that I've got lined up for you, and here's one already that I'll be probably reviewing tomorrow. So thank you once again for tuning in today. Keep supporting the channel, but most of all, keep smelling fantastic. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.